Welcome, everyone. Today's Friday here in the U.S. anyway. Happy Friday to you all. Thank you for joining us here today with the Tech Talk webinar. We have some usually regularly scheduled Tech Talks, so we appreciate you tuning in and joining up today. Today's discussion is going to be around Cisco Webex Connect, as well as some other components that tie into Cisco Webex Connect. My name, of course, Mike Keitzer. Some of you had to endure me in class, I suppose. Appreciate that. And we hope to see you coming up in some classes in the future. I will talk to you today about some classes that might be new that I'm not supposed to talk to you about, but hey, this is a pretty good opportunity to tell you about what's going on, what we've been working on over here. Webex Connect might be one of those things. So let's get started with the presentation. The first thing that we're going to throw out here are some poll questions. Carol is moderator here helping out. She works with us at Sunset, and I guess she's got some questions to post. She asked that while she's posting those questions, I can do a little shuffle and talk about some things. So some of you have heard some of my dumb jokes in class, but here's another one. Maybe you've heard it, maybe you haven't. Anyone know why pirates aren't very good at the alphabet? Why pirates are not very good at the alphabet? Answer is because they spend too much time at sea. Arg. Spend too much time at sea. Get it? All right, that's a dumb joke, people, but they go on from there. So, and Carol, I don't see where these questions. Yes, I don't see them.
They are already on they're rolling. If you want to
keep on rolling.
Yes, they are.
Where do I? Oh, I see polling. Q&A. Bring that slide. Okay. There. So actually, I could show you some of these questions over here and maybe prompt through them. So some questions out here posted. Don't hesitate to answer those if you don't mind. But I want to know, how familiar are you with Webex Connect before attending the session? If you've taken some of our Webex Contact Center classes, you've at least probably heard of it. I'd like to gauge your interest on that. What describes your role? We're looking to see if you're out there. A lot of you might have signed up with maybe a Gmail address or something like that. We're just looking, if we can't readily tell from who you are, whether or not you're a partner or a customer. We tend to, these days, have some courses that may be more partner-oriented versus customer-oriented, different focus on some things along the way. So that's helpful to us. And we're going to be talking about the CPaaS thing. CPaaS is Communications Platform as a Service. Everything's as a service these days. So we want to know if you're using currently any CPaaS solutions that may or may not be Webex Connect. So, and a couple more questions and more tidbits coming on downstream here. So let's get started with the presentation. I'm going to go back over here to my slides. Let me know if you can't hear me, or if you can't see the presentation, let us know somewhere along the way, chat window. So agenda today, talked about a couple of things, just big picture overview on what Webex Connect actually is, what it does for you. Not sure. Hello to the computer. What is Webex Connect? Proactive Journeys overview. Sounds interesting. Proactive Journeys will describe to you, that's, I guess, suppose a little bit of maybe a marketing buzzword overall, buzzwords, but describes basically what functionality Webex Connect is going to help provide to us. We'll talk about what channels are supported with Webex Connect and the integration options. That'll make a whole lot more sense actually after we describe what Webex Connect does for you. And part of what's included in a roundabout way, at least via an interface you can get to in Webex Connect, is AI agent functionality. So we'll describe to you a couple different types of AI agents. Of course, AI, a pretty big set of buzzwords these days, artificial intelligence, and seems to be where things are heading. So we'll give at least a sneak peek preview on what's going on with AI functionality. We'll talk about a couple of uses. Those use cases really just come from Cisco stock marketing pieces of information. So one of the things I would maybe ask you for is let us know what maybe you're doing use case wise, or maybe what roadblocks you're running into if you're using Webex Connect. And maybe those are things that we could focus in on a little bit more. Should we be producing any classes in the near future? And we'll take a look at a demo flow. We'll also take a look at a demo. I've got, pretty basic demo to show you there that involves some channels and some integration and some things happening. So shouldn't take all of your day. We've only got about an hour here to discuss things. Shouldn't actually even maybe take that long. So let's move right along. First off, Webex Connect overview. What the heck is Webex Connect? Well, Webex Connect is a part of the Webex family, the Webex ecosystem. We see that over on the right-hand side. We see this thing called Webex Connect, a CPaaS solution. So we'll define that here again coming up in 1 second, some kind of as a service solution. Of course, if you've been working with Webex, you're familiar with things like Webex calling and messaging and meetings and the contact center that we spend a lot of time on in our CCE classes, of course, our contact center for Webex classes. And Webex Connect, another family member of the Webex ecosystem. And as a lead into Webex Connect, what we understand about, I guess, as partners or integrators or as customers is that, wow, there's all kinds of new school communications that are out there. Kids apparently don't like to talk to anymore on the phone. They want to use some kind of social media for conversation, communication. That's fine. We've got old school communication, business-owned channels. Telephony is a pretty typical thing from old school communication back in the day. Maybe doesn't fit the bill with new school expectations. Certainly, younger people don't want to pick up a phone and call you anywhere. They want to use some of the newer customer or consumer preferred channels. We want a natural experience when we communicate with an organization. We'd like to hear natural language conversations. We don't want to appear like we're actually talking to some kind of a machine. We want our communication to be proactive. I want to receive updates about my shipment that's being delayed somewhere along the way, as opposed to reactive, wondering where my shipment is and then having to call the organization. I want things to be automated. And of course, we're all interested in customer service and retaining our customers along the way. So a little bit of a architecture lead in here to, of course, the solution that we're going to take a look at is going to be Webex Connect to help out. And this continues really on in the next screen here as well. What we see on this fairly busy screen is we've got customers on the right-hand side. We've got core business systems, you all that are partners on the left-hand side. And in the middle, the organization is trying to make things work. We're trying to take all of our business systems, all of the requirements for the organization, all the requirements for the customer across all the multitudes of channels that our customers might want to communicate with. And somewhere in the middle here, we're trying to make it all work. With communication, what we're talking about here is, again, customers reaching out to our organization, communicating with us reaching out to our customers for whatever it might be, like appointment management, whatever. Likewise, in an organization, if we have a lot of different communication methods, mechanisms, we got voice, we've got email, we've got chat, we've got different types of social media. Historically, all those channels would be really implemented and configured and integrated as their own solution. If you use some of the contact center solutions from Cisco, of course, we've historically been able to do email and chat and voice communication. Really, this solution we're going to find takes things to a whole new level and allows us to incorporate a multitude of different channels and integrations to try to make things work. So what we don't want is frustrating customer experience. We want a true multi-channel or omni-channel solution within our corporate environment to be able to communicate with people via whatever channels they may want to be using. And So the solution here is Webex Connect. Webex Connect is going to, as we see, help us bring together core business solutions that we see on the left-hand side. See some fairly popular business solutions on the left-hand side. Right-hand side, we've got different channels. In the middle is Webex Connect trying to tie all of this information together. We see also CPaaS defined, Cloud Communications Platform as a Service. What does a Cloud Communications Platform as a Service actually mean? Well, easy to use automation and orchestration product, help you reduce cost, accelerate IT roadmaps, and really cloud-based service that allows you to add real-time communication across multitudes of channels without reinventing the wheel, without having to build things from scratch. That's the hopes and dreams anyway. And as we show you in class, and we'll demonstrate here a little bit for you, that's actually true. So Webex Connect, we'll take a look at exactly what it is here in a second. We'll show you how we access Webex Connect. We'll show you what it's all about. But at the heart of Webex Connect is some easy ways to automate, orchestrate all of your digital interactions across chat, email, Facebook Messenger, SMS, whatever you might be using for the most part. We see a couple of components here, the visual flow builder, which we'll show you in a second. You can actually see in the screen image there on the right-hand side. Somebody is apparently working on this visual flow builder that we'll discuss along the way. This makes it easy. Somewhere along the way, I came across a term called, a term for basically your programmers who aren't really programmers, people like me who got kicked out of the programming class in the 10th grade, but these days have to deal with some programming aspects of things. This visual flow builder and really the whole Connect solution makes it certainly a whole lot easier to put together some fairly complex solutions and components without maybe necessarily having to be somewhat of a programmer. Certainly would help, but this certainly makes it quite a lot easier to actually get some things done. And integrations and channel support, two main topics we'll be talking about here in 1 second. That's really what we're trying to do with Webex Connect. Take a multitudes of channels, voice, email, chat, SMS, Facebook Messenger, WhatsApp, whatever you might think of and dream we might support it over here, and trying to make those channels work collectively as a group. Maybe start off as a chat, ultimately end up sending you some SMS messages, confirmation, maybe an email for confirmation as well, tying all these channels together as well as the integrations in the back end. We've got a lot of integrations with other business systems. We might need to go out and do some kind of a lookup in ServiceNow or some kind of a third-party application to help with our routing of contacts, and that's exactly what Webex Connect is here to help out with. Let's take a look at what a proactive journey actually means. Proactive journeys. So based on a couple of use cases, what we see here, Webex Connect being used in two main scenarios, journeys and notifications. A journey, as we'll describe, is the customer's journey from the beginning of them communicating with you as an organization all the way through the end. What we hope is that they're getting a hold of you for some reason, their shipment is delayed, they want to order stuff, whatever the case might be. We're hoping that we can allow communication inbound from the customers and first off have some kind of a proactive journey experience, as we'll break out a little bit more. Proactive journey says, hey, whatever channel I'm using for communication, let's bring that customer in, let's try to converse with them. We might along the way incorporate some cool things that we'll discuss, like AI agents. AI agents come in a couple flavors these days that we'll talk about, but if we need to actually have somebody communicate with a customer, maybe we start off with an AI agent. And if the AI agent doesn't fit the bill or doesn't work for anything, we might actually escalate that inbound request maybe to a human agent. And what you're doing here along the way may or may not be dependent on what contact center functionality you have. One thing we should point out is that this Webex Connect solution can certainly be used in more of what we call a standalone environment. You don't have to use Webex Connect, certainly in a contact center solutions, as we'll point out to you here along the way. But you may also do that. So journeys, automated digital interaction with the customer, may escalate over time to different digital channels, start off as a chat, maybe escalate to real-time AI agent, human interaction, maybe in real person. That's cool. And notifications, being able to maybe send alarms and alerts from an external system. Maybe somebody hasn't paid their bills. Maybe we need to send some alarm or some alerts or some notification via some other channel to that person communicating and or some other entity. So here's some pretty easy examples. A journey example, trying to book travel using an omni-channel customer journey solution. So it looks like in this particular screenshot, when we're booking travel, we support maybe WhatsApp and SMS, and we're using those different channels for notification. Might have started off certainly on a web page with communication, but at the end, once we get our travel booked, we might want to receive some notification that we actually have our journey booked. Speaking of journeys, after I get done here, I'm going to be on the road for a journey myself. So there's that. You don't care about that. Notifications, webhooks. Webhooks are one of the things we talk about, certainly in the classes coming up. And webhook can be used for inbound or outbound notifications of things. In this particular example over here, it looks like we're sending some kind of SMS notification about some configuration errors or issues along the way. And looks like we started off somewhere along the way with some email functionality. So just an example of the journey and or notifications, which are two main things that Webex Connect can certainly help us out with. Channel support. So let's take a closer look at what we call the three pillars here of communication in this ecosystem. We've got proactive journeys, AI agents, and human agents. We'll talk a little bit about those along the way. Proactive journeys as a term in the world of Webex Connect here really relates to, in my mind, trying to get maybe multitudes of channels and integrations working together. Channels would include SMS, Facebook Messenger, whatever integrations would be your back-end business systems, trying to make all this stuff work seamlessly. And what we see in the world of Connect is those are all these channels integrations are really defined under a submenu called assets that we'll take a look at here, right? Apps, integrations, numbers, various types of channels that we can use. Channel support, multitudes of channel support. You can see on the list, which may or may not be exactly up to date. Of course, it's from 2024. We want to check to see what's exactly supported these days, but looks like a multitude of things that you would want to have support. SMS and various other forms of messaging, email, chat, Facebook Messenger, push notifications, WhatsApp. Facebook Messenger is in there somewhere. Some things and solutions come and go, so make sure that the solution that you're interested in is maybe supportive of the solution. Of course, all kinds of online documentation to tell you exactly what's supported, what is not. We would want to maybe know from you, if you want to communicate with us, what channels are you mostly using or mostly are your customers thinking about using with this solution. So some channels come and go. We've got voice assets that we can use with Webex Connect. We've kind of seen in the contact center a way to actually do voice natively within the Webex Contact Center solution, as well as now being able to do voice within the Webex Connect solution. And that's certainly beneficial in a standalone environment without a contact center. You think about a call coming from somewhere, that call needs to go to somebody and maybe needs to support things like text to speech. So we can do various things within Webex Connect, answer calls, play messages. We've got, by example, a pretty simple situation or scenario where maybe we just need to have notifications go out to inform people of an appointment they're needing to attend or an outage or something of that nature. Webex Connect certainly perfectly suited and in place to actually make that happen. So that's pretty cool stuff. Got different telephony service assets that are supported, various forms of messaging services, SMS, MMS, rich communication services. Those all require a phone number within Webex Connect as well, but certainly things that we support. Email is certainly supported. Email we use quite a bit in the contact center solution, but again, if you think about a regular back office organization, getting a bunch of emails coming in that need to be distributed somewhere, or maybe provide some kind of automated messaging replies to customer and or just notifications, certainly email is a very large piece of what Connect can do. Live chat assets, we've actually used live chat quite a bit in the contact center, and we've actually got a couple of deployments of Connect currently we're working with, trying to make them all functional. One is a contact center integrated solution, one is not. So what we're kind of working on right now is getting chat working in the non-contact center solution. I've seen some documentation about it maybe being deprecated. I'm not sure if that's true or not. So if you have any interesting information about using chat in a Webex Connect standalone environment, we seem to be missing something. I'm not sure if we're missing the engage piece or not, but nevertheless, chat certainly supported. And a lot of other messaging assets or communication types, channels are supported as well. Facebook Messenger, WhatsApp, Apple Messages, Instagram, et cetera, We recommend here, of course, reference the current list of applications that are supported. But if you've been around with this solution for a while, you know that, hey, applications that come out that are fairly popular, this solution continues to grow and certainly adopt other technologies that are coming down the stream. That's cool. Other proactive journey assets. Assets is, again, a terminology we see over here in Connect, but specifically what we're looking at here is integrations. And we've got different integration types that are supported with this solution. You think about it, we're trying to match up somebody communicating via SMS or whatever channel we're using with, on the back end, some other integration to Salesforce or Epic for healthcare purposes, or maybe Dialogflow, you're using that for some kind of a virtual agent, or customer journey services. That's a Webex solution as well. So a lot of different integrations that we're also trying to tie together with our channel communication mechanisms, which exactly is what Webex Connect is suited for. Here's an example of an integration. We can see in this particular screen, Webex Connect is one of the key components within the contact center environment. On the right-hand side, we see Webex Contact Center. Down below, we see another Webex solution piece called Webex Engage, that in this case is helping us to bring in emails or web chats or other digital channels into the solution, in this particular case, web chats, and get those chats that are coming in from a customer on the customer side via our web page somewhere on our corporate website, being able to have a customer click on the chat button over there, maybe fill out some information on the pre-chat form, ultimately maybe route that request inbound to some kind of an AI agent to maybe help out with that communication. If the AI agent can't do an effective job, we need to actually speak to a real person. Not a big deal. We'll route that request to one of our customer service reps using the agent desktop. That's basically the little demonstration I'm going to give for you today. Start off with this very simple chat, show you how it actually gets routed all the way through the contact center to an agent. Along the way, might use different integrations, Salesforce, database integrations, other integration types besides just the contact center. And if you think about how difficult that might be to typically or historically do, bunch of channels, bunch of integrations, the chat ultimately has to end up in the contact center. Wow, that's a lot of work. So Webex Connect here to try to help make your life easier. The next page is just kind of a simple list of at least a lot of the more major CRM or incident or healthcare integrations that we can see. Of course, this is maybe not a full supported list, but pretty close to being what's accurate and out there. Some of those that you see pretty popular, Salesforce, Epic. Certainly we see a lot of requests for ServiceNow. One thing that might be helpful to us is if you want to post that out there somewhere in the chat window or something, let us know what integration types you see coming down the road that you might be most interested in. That would be helpful. We can't, of course, address all of them, but it's nice to know maybe what you're working on. Got some Dialogflow integrations. Of course, Dialogflow comes from the world of Google. And historically, we use Dialogflow for some things like text-to-speech, speech-to-text, virtual agents. We've used Dialogflow. A lot of that functionality these days is actually native into the Cisco environment. By example, text-to-speech, native in the contact center in the Cisco environment. We have an AI agent now kind of taking the place of the virtual agent that Dialogflow supported. However, Dialogflow certainly is still supported as an integration type with Webex Connect, not going anywhere. You might already be using Google Dialogflow for an AI agent, not saying you have to stop using it. What we are saying, though, is that some of these offerings or solutions might now be more native within the Cisco realm of things, might save you $1 or $2 based on what integration type you're using. Maybe so, maybe no. Other popular integration types, bots and AI agents. We actually have a short section here coming up in 1 second on AI agents. The old school term was bots that we used to use, I don't know, a couple of months ago. Bots are, of course, short for robots. And these days we don't have bots, but we have these things called AI agents. They're similar to bots, just a cooler, newer term, I suppose, with certainly some more additional functionality than what historically bots did for it. So still use bots, can use AI agents. We will talk more specifically about AI agents here in a second. Other integration or applications that you might see besides just Webex Connect. Webex Connect, at the bottom of the page, trying to again help with tying our core business systems across multitudes of channels, make the customer experience work well. We see some other applications over here in the middle that we might be using. I'm most familiar here with Webex Engage. We use Webex Engage in the contact center environment, but Webex Notify, Webex Campaign, haven't really used those much, really at all. But of course, other applications in this ecosystem that all work together and work well together. Let's take a quick look here at AI agent overview. AI agents are certainly a new thing in the world of Cisco and quite a new buzzword, and quite a lot of interest, at least I see from people in class. They want to know maybe what it is, what's going on with it. I don't know. I see a lot of people necessarily right now implementing AI agent, certainly thinking about it, but we'd of course like to know how much or often or what your interest in AI agents is. And we see back to this 3 pillars organization. We talked a little bit about the proactive journeys that's trying to tie multitudes of channels with back-end business systems to ultimately provide a solution for the customer. Somewhere along the way, that proactive journey might lead the customer into communicating with an AI agent. Could use an AI agent regardless of whether or not we actually have real contact center agents on the back end. AI agents here to try to help us out with resolving whatever problems or questions we might have. AI agents in this particular case in the world of Webex Connect, and I guess I should clarify, Webex Connect has an interface to get to the AI agent. Webex Connect flows incorporate functionality of AI agents. So AI agents are a little bit removed, I guess I would say, from Connect. It's kind of its own interface, but certainly work hand in hand with this Connect solution to provide, again, ultimately a customer journey that makes everyone happy at the end of the day. So AI agents come in 2 flavors, 2 forms. Scripted AI agents. Scripted AI agents we used to call or term task bots. Scripted AI agents aren't really all together that they're only as smart as I guess you make them, is what I might say to be politically correct there overall. They're just not very smart entities, unlike an autonomous AI agent, which could actually go out there and get turned loose on documentation to make itself smarter. A scripted agent is only going to be as smart as basically you design it to be. And that's cool. We've got different scenarios where we might just need a scripted agent. We might need an autonomous agent. Of course, in the back end, not that we care about that in this discussion here, but there are some cost differences with configuring scripted agents versus autonomous AI agents. One costs a little more than the other one does. But let's take a closer look at these different agent types and see what they do for us. So scripted AI agent is literally just that. It's scripted or programmed to follow a predefined set of rules or instructions. You call in or shoot in a chat message to the scripted AI agent. Hopefully it's going to be built and configured to somewhat lead you down the righteous path of getting your problem resolved or whatever that might be. The scripted AI agent shouldn't leave it up to the customer to, give them maybe too many options. We want to design, configure the scripted AI agent to perform specific tasks, clearly defined and structured, right? Get information from the customer. The knowledge base that we're using for our scripted AI agent isn't really a knowledge base per se. It's really what questions or what responses or what input are we going to allow from the customer, and what are their responses that they're going to get back on the other side. So scripted AI agent, as we point out here in the bottom of the bullet point here, well suited for scenarios where specific knowledge is required. Limited flexibility is acceptable. We don't want to just allow the AI agent to talk about whatever or receive input about whatever. We might want to have a pretty well-defined set of structured things that the AI agent can actually communicate with via the customer, and you want to define that. So scripted AI agent use cases, healthcare, finance, insurance. Again, key thing here with scripted AI agent, don't leave a lot of room for the consumer to go rogue and start asking the AI agent a bunch of questions. It's not going to be able to answer those questions. You want to have a pretty predefined set of rules and structure about what you're trying to do interaction-wise with the customer. And I'll show you that in a little demo here coming up in a second. Autonomous agents in not only the contact center, but just in Webex Connect in general. It says here, autonomous AI agents in Webex solutions, large language model powered, no code AI. What does that really mean? Well, this autonomous AI agent basically, you can upload documentation, you can reference documentation, by example, online, you can let it go out and basically train itself. And now, basically, with our AI agent, it's a bit more free form. If you'll notice the couple slides ago, we had, a discussion with the AI agent. It was fairly structured, right? Do you want to do this? Yes or no? Do you want to do this? Yes or no? Are you interested in ordering widgets? Yes or no? With the AI agent, we can, as a consumer, kind of wander around in conversation with this AI agent. We can ask it one thing, and then the next topic could be something totally different. The AI agent supports what I guess I'm trying to say here, unpredictable input. It is going to make its own decision with interactions with the customer, different than our other AI agent, which really kind of had a specific corpus of knowledge, a specific list of things that it's listening for or looking for in communication. This autonomous AI agent, certainly more freeform. The knowledge base that we turn this AI agent loose on can be fairly narrow or very wide. Right? We could have an AI agent built that could answer virtually any question about anything you want to. That's pretty cool. One more minor topic here. This doesn't really exactly go on with Webex Connect, but it's somewhat related and certainly completes the 3 pillars solution when we're interacting with a human agent. This human agent doesn't necessarily, I guess, have to be per se an agent, but in the contact center solution, it certainly would be. And we've got another tool or set of utilities called AI Assistant. AI Assistant is out here to try to help our customer service reps augment this functionality at every step along the way. So if you think about this journey we keep talking about here, the customer started off with chat, email, something inbound. We had some integration tying into some solution. Maybe along the way, we talked to an AI agent. The AI agent couldn't, for whatever reason, handle our request. So we need to escalate now this request to a real person, a real agent. And what we see here with AI Assistant is some tools, some of which are available now, some of which are forthcoming, to allow really our real people to do their jobs a whole lot better. When the request actually shows up in front of the real agent, we might want to actually see some context of actually the communication that happened with the customer along the way before the customer started interacting with our real agent here. Want to see some transcriptions, might want to see some suggested response, some summary information about where this call or request went to. And this is while we're talking to the customer on the other end. Once we hang up with a customer, we get some after call wrap functionality here, some wrap up summaries, some codes. Got agent well-being. That's kind of a newer feature and functionality on the way involved in this AI assistant that's really trying to make sure their agents aren't suffering from burnout, which seems to be a good option here. And after the fact with post-call analytics, some other things like customer service scores, topic analytics, and maybe some coaching on the back end. So AI assistant, not really, I would say, a part of Webex Connect, but certainly a part of the whole Webex ecosystem and part of an environment, certainly with the contact center solution. And again, some of these features out there available now, some of these features certainly Cisco's working on to get them working a long way. All right, so some simple use cases here. This is maybe where we're looking for some more input from all of you out there. If you have some pretty cool use cases you'd like to share with us or some things you're thinking about doing. We don't need any particulars, but we do want to know what you're being faced with working on out there. I think the goal of any of these use cases, as stated here, deliver personalized two-way communications, right, between the solution you're working with, maybe not an agent, but solution you're trying to integrate with, and the customer in real time across any channel. Or certainly at least across any channel that's a fairly popular channel, right? There's some strange one-off communication things out there that maybe Connect doesn't work with, but for the most part, our major channels we're trying to drive with interaction seamlessly between the customer and the business end. So use case here for digital channel functionality. In this particular case, if you work in the healthcare industry, even if you don't, you've had an appointment where about 5 minutes before your appointment, you realize, uh-oh, I'm late for my appointment. I'm going to need to cancel my appointment or need maybe reschedule your appointment. So great. This is a perfect case scenario for Webex Connect. Allow people to initiate communication inbound via SMS, Facebook Messenger, chat, whatever it happens to be, and really make it quite easily to help automate the rescheduling of said appointment, right? Might need to traverse healthcare systems in the back end to try to make this all work. Not saying there's an easy button, but I'm certainly saying with this solution and using some cool things like the Epic APIs that we can use to go out there and reach into Epic and figure out, hey, you got some patient appointment or something going on. When is that appointment? Do we have a slot to reschedule it? Webex Connect is pretty well suited to actually give you some pretty cool and somewhat easier functionality with trying to make all this stuff together. If you've sat in those meetings with customers and they're saying, this is what we really want to do, and then at the end you go, that sounds cool. I don't know how I'm going to start with that or make that happen. Webex Connect could certainly very well be your way out of that hole. Okay. Promise to pay as well, right? We know that people maybe don't want to pay their bills along the way. And I guess if they don't want to pay their bills, that's great. Maybe what we're using here with another use case for this promise to pay is to try to make the customer feel better, trigger automated, interactive, and personalized pay bill reminders via email, SMS, whatever we might be using. Maybe with some payment options, right? Maybe if we continually just nudge people gently, they'll at least pay us some of the money. So a couple of use cases, these use cases come directly from Cisco with some of their marketing information. But if you have some other cool use cases you'd like to share with us that we might be able to use some along the way, that would be good, pretty cool. And what we kind of leave you with here is that the possibilities for this journey are endless. Notice here we've got multitudes of different channels up top that we're using, maybe across multitudes of different platforms. And on the back end, try to really make all of these different channels of communication integrate with our other back end systems that the business is using to try to make, hopefully, a seamless two-way, one-way communication from simple to complex that hopefully will work for everyone. Everyone will be happy. Okay, perfect. Carol, before I get into the demos of some things, is there another pause we should be taking here? Do I have any more questions or?
We will do the last questions after the demo. So I'll give.
So keep on going is what you're telling me?
Yes.
Okay, sounds pretty good. All right, so that all being said, let's take a look at Webex Connect. Again, we're not going to make you an expert here on anything Webex Connect related, but let's take a look at a couple of things, some flows, give you kind of a little cheesy example here of what Webex Connect can do for you in the contact center. Might start off here just by showing you part of a demo flow. I guess one thing I'd point out here along the way, which I'll get into and show you specifically in 1 second, but flow from Webex Connect or how we actually tie everything together. Bring the contact in this particular case, what we're witnessing here with the flow is we're receiving a message from the customer. What kind of message are we receiving from the customer? Well, that's where, again, we get to, with the flow, define what that message type is. Could be a chat interaction, SMS, Facebook Messenger, whatever. In this particular case, it's a chat, incoming chat message happening along the way. We might want to search to see if you've been here before or not. And then, at least with chat, we're going to offer up a pre-chat form to the customer. They're going to fill that out. We're going to receive this information back. It's content of that form, maybe define we need to create a new conversation. So what we're seeing here is a multitude of what we call nodes in this flow builder over here in Webex Connect. If you, of course, come to our classes, we will define what all these nodes are and do for you. The flow you're looking at right here is actually mostly from a pretty simple stock flow that we could actually maybe not have to build from scratch, but Webex Connect has a lot of good flows already somewhat built as templates that you can certainly import and, with minimal amount of time, actually at least get started down the road of making some things work. This flow continues along the way right after we offer up a pre-chat form, see if you've been here or not. What we might want to do is route this request now to one of our AI agents. AI agent, again, could be one of the simple AI agents or maybe more complex AI agent. We'll describe more about what's going on with the AI agent here in 1 second. And then ultimately, if the AI agent cannot help out with whatever request that we're after as a consumer, we might actually escalate that request to actually a real human. Here, we're actually using contact center functionality in this particular flow to queue that request, in this case, a chat, to a real customer service rep, which is basically what I'm going to show you here in this demonstration. So just kind of pointing out that this flow along the way has really some key area of things that happen right at the beginning of the flow, some housekeeping, offer up a pre-chat form, receive the information, send the customer off to an AI agent. Certainly might be one of the things we do within our Webex Connect flow. And then ultimately, again, at the end, escalate that request to a human. The AI agent piece in the middle here looks a bit busy. Come back for our fancy classes that we have in place and are also creating new. What we describe a little bit more is exactly what's happening with the AI agent piece. We talk about customers integrating or communicating with the AI agent in a set of turns. What that really means is we route a request in the AI agent comes up with initial response, sends that back to the customer. The customer has to look at that response and figure out what their response is to that response. And then we have to start all over again. So these turns with our AI agent basically involves somewhat of a loop within our flow. Every time we interact with that AI agent, we're kind of going around a circle here. If we decide that we're tired of the AI agent, we want to bail out and talk to a real human, we'll actually take another success path and go over here and queue the request elsewhere. So that's kind of interesting. a little bit cool. Not quite ready for our other poll questions yet. What I thought I might want to do here, Carol, just real quick, is to show some people what's actually going on over here in Webex Connect. So I'm about ready to be done with this presentation, but I'll come back to it here in 1 second, people, and talk to you about the promo offer. So if you can stick around for that, that would be cool. But for the time being, let me open up here a web page to a couple places. Number one, this presentation that I'm doing is using Webex Connect in a contact center integrated environment. Again, I want to make sure to point out that Webex Connect does not have to be used in a contact center integrated environment. It can be used in a standalone environment. Certainly, we use it a lot in the contact center, but that's great. I'm logged into the control hub here. I can actually see in the control hub in the contact center piece, I've got a couple of shortcuts to get me to some places I care about. Webex Connect is one of the main topics of our discussion here, of course, today. And somewhere else here, we've got a Webex AI agent link or shortcut that I can use. I'm going to actually start off over here in Webex Connect, since Webex Connect is main part of our topic of conversation. And Mohammed is asking some questions. Hey, does Webex Connect support or the AI agent support different languages? It certainly does. I'm not specifically sure about maybe what dialects of Arabic we're speaking, but we'll try to take a look at it here in 1 second, see what goes on. Let's see. So I'm in Webex Connect. If you come back to class, we're going to talk to you about what exactly services are, reporting, and assets. We're going to, of course, get into all the gory details about all these things. But kind of real quick here, a service is basically a container or a bucket where I could put my assets in. My assets come in various flavors, like you can see via a couple of little icons here. We can see, and make that a little bit bigger. Looks like that's some kind of chat icon. There's some kind of bot icon. We got email, Facebook Messenger. These are all different types of assets that we're using. My little cheesy example down here is in the Bubba 99 service. Looks like I'm doing some live chat messaging. Within a service, I can see these things called flows. A flow is basically the journey itself, the experience of the journey. When I bring a request in via chat or SMS or whatever, what do I want to do with this chat that's inbound? Well, in this case, I want to route it to one of my fancy AI agents. So if I open up this flow basically replicates what you just witnessed in the slides here, with bringing a consumer in via a chat message, offering up a pre-chat form, receiving the response, and ultimately routing the consumer over here to an AI agent. If the AI agent can't, for whatever reason, handle the request fully, I'm going to ultimately route that call or queue that task, this chat request, ultimately to one of my contact center agents, which I'm going to demonstrate here for you in 1 second. So again, the flow is what ties together a bunch of things like the integration type, as well as the channel or channels that I'm trying to use communication-wise. My channels that I'm using, defined here under assets, different types of channels that show up as apps. I can see chat, Apple Messages for Business, Facebook Messenger, mobile web, WhatsApp. This is only a partial list that we see here. Actually, a partial list is because of our contact center integration piece, but there may in fact be multiple channels, even more than what's listed here. So I build out my different app types with different channels. I also, with this solution, have different integrations that I'm using. We talked about channels. We talked about integrations being a part of this journey. Integrations, there's multitudes of integrations. What I'm using here for a couple of my integrations type, integration between Webex Connect and the contact center and Webex Engage. You can also see it looks like we've got other integrations for customer journey data services. We've got custom integrations. We're using Airtable for some scheduling of some things. We've got AI agents and dialogue flow and bot nodes and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Right? So all types of integrations here that we have, CRM integrations, et cetera, that we can use with a solution. And again, integrations, they say they're pre-built out here. What it really comes down to is they're obviously not pre-built for your organization, but at least the template or the structure of this integration between you and Salesforce already built, right? Kind of like having your PGs already built for you with ICM or something like that, right? You just have to do the rest of the work on the back end. You don't have to worry about how all this stuff is going to go together. That stuff is somewhat there in place. Just has to be personalized for your environment. We got a lot of other tools we talk about, of course, in our classes coming up. We've got debug ability, we've got troubleshooting and reporting tools that we can use, et cetera, et cetera. If you come back for our Webex Connect classes, we'll certainly make you more of an expert in this. But let me show you as getting kind of close on time here. So let me just show you what I've got as a simple demonstration using one of these flows that I've built. Simple interaction with a customer. Might start off with a customer on a web page, right? The customer sees our web page. They're interested in some surfing stuff. And they notice that we've got a little chat icon down the bottom right-hand side. So it looks like we can chat. We started off here as just a web browser as a consumer. Now I'm going to click on the little chat icon. I'm going to have to click here to start this chat conversation. The chat welcomes me. In this particular case, it's going to ask me fill out some information with my form. My name, Joe Schmo. Email address. I'm going to put an email address. Doesn't have to be a real email address, but kind of has to look like one. An order number. Maybe I've got some order number. I bought some surfboards or some swim trunks or something like that. Put in an order number. Continue on. And right now, as far as the flow is concerned, I'm not actually talking to a real agent. I'm just offering up to the consumer a pre-chat form. I'm about ready to fill in my responses in my pre-chat form. And the flow on the back end, what it's now actually hopefully going to direct me to, is my AI agent. In this particular case, got a pretty simple AI agent for the Super Surf Shack, where I've got some options here. Kind of in the process of building this stuff up and blowing stuff up along the way. So make this cooler along the way. Right now, I've just got some input for surfboards, press 1, swimsuits, press 2, shark repellent, press 3, track your order, press 4. So if I want more information on surfboards, I could press 1. Again, I've got some other options here with my AI agents where instead of actually typing something in, I could click on an option here for surfboards or whatever, for sales or rentals, right? Got different options over here. Men's or women's swimwear, I'm going to do a restart. That's a kind of a key word it knows about. I can bring up the display again. And so envision, if you will, I'm interacting via this AI agent, chatting with the AI agent. Maybe the AI agent is fully functional, helps me figure out where I can go to find the coolest surfboard or whatnot. If the AI agent can't assist me with what I'm trying to do, might have to escalate this to a real customer service rep. So interested in shark repellent, press 3. Geez, if it's sharks we're talking about, may actually want to talk to a real life person. So I think if I press option 3 here, what that's going to do, it's going to redirect that to one of our team members where we can actually have a real live person talking to somebody about shark bites and maybe stand out of the water. I happen to also be logged in over here as an agent in the contact center. You can see I've got, it looks like an incoming request from Joe Schmo. I'm going to accept that request inbound here. And the key thing that we want to know about is that from a customer service representative's perspective, what I see right in front of me is the whole transaction that occurred with Joe Schmo when he was conversing with the AA agent. So as a real person, as a real agent, I'm certainly a lot more better prepared to actually do my job and help out with shark repellent in this particular case for this customer. So that's cool. I can talk back and forth with Joe Schmo. Hello, Joe. Joe sees that information back over here in the chat side. Joe can talk to me, the agent. Hello, agent. See all that stuff showing back up over here. That's pretty cool stuff. At the end of the day, everybody's happy. The customer leaves the chat conversation. Agent leaves the chat conversation or ends the chat conversation, goes into wrap up mode. Again, we might have some of that AI assistant helping out with a lot of this information. At the end of the day, problem solved. Everybody's happy. Nobody got eaten by a shark. Life is good. Okay. All right, I got like 2 minutes left, people. That's exactly enough time for me to go over here and say, guess we may have some other poll questions, or answers. What you've been waiting for is some offers on some courses that have been around for a while. Our AWXCC, our admin course, and our Webex Contact Center Advanced course. If you're in the contact center, we'd encourage you to take those in the appropriate order, we might add, right? Good stuff in the admin course. That's the first place to start. Hang out for a while, learn the solution, come back in a couple weeks and take the advanced contact center admin course. Not supposed to tell you about this, people, but on the back end, we've also been working on some Webex Connect classes, as well as some Webex AI agent classes. Those things are a work in progress right now. I'm really, according to my salespeople, not supposed to be mentioning this to you. And I say, hey, I think we're here to make money, last I checked. So I mention it to you, people. I'll be in trouble later with Steve and Nate, but that's fine. That's cool. If you're interested in those too, yeah, salespeople say things all the time. I know. How do you know when a salesperson's lying to you? When their lips are moved. Anyway, I like to make fun of them. That's all good. You should bug our salespeople and say, hey, when are these classes coming up? It's your mission over there. Because we're interested in helping you out. We are interested in, I know it is pretty cold, Robert. I apologize to you. Robert works with us, but I don't know. I'm just making stuff up. The people like it. Emily likes it. That's all good. Anyway, bug your salespeople, ask them when these new classes are coming out. Take our contact center classes. Come hang out with us. You can come to class if you want to. You can take your class remote. It's all good, people. It looks like my time is about up. Carol, any final thoughts? Did I do all right?
Thank you for today's session. Y'all, please answer the final questions for us. This will help a lot for me and Mike. I hope that you all can see the trees question. And also after this event, we will receive a follow-up survey. This helps us and our sales team and me and Mike to see if you guys like it, enjoy it, and if this session was helpful for you. Thank you so much.
Okay, perfect. So yeah, a couple follow-on questions. If you don't mind answering those, people, we'd appreciate that. Come back and visit us. You can, of course, always find more information online, sunsetlearning.com. And off you go. So thanks for today. Have a great weekend, everybody. We appreciate your time, and we will see you all next time. Thank you, Carol. Appreciate you helping out.
Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you, Sunset people, for joining up. Sorry we threw you under bus, but now you'll have a bunch of customers to talk to. It'll all be good. Don't see any other questions out there along the way. I see your links. That's cool. Okay, Carol, I don't know, anything else?
All good from my side. I'm just letting them answer the polls, and okay. I will finish here. Thank you.
Okay, all right. Brad says, how is end user personal data handled from a security point of view within Webex Connect? Is the data encrypted in use and at rest? Wow. That is a difficult question there, Mr. Brad Haynes. When we come back for class, we will get deeper into that conversation. How's that sound? And Renee says, multiple choice question, radio button only allows a single choice.
Thank you, Renee. I will check that. Okay.
Yes, Brad, the future mystery class for Webex Connect. True enough. That is it. Bug your salespeople. Thank you, Brad. See you next time. Yes, reporting classes. We have, of course, reporting that we go over in our contact center classes, but if you need some custom reporting stuff, we can certainly help out. Right? If you need 1 day or 2 days or a half day times a bunch of people on reporting stuff, just get a hold of your salesperson on this end and we can talk to you. We can sit down and come up with a schedule and an outline and a plan for exactly what you might need training wise with reporting specific things. And as from a supervisor perspective, we certainly understand that. We also do people supervisor and agent training. So if you need supervisor and agent training specifically just on using Webex Contact Center functionality, we can certainly help out with that. But we can take to the next level with doing some reporting stuff as well. Let us know what you need. We're very flexible over here. Thank you, Igor. Appreciate that. Thank you for joining us from Germany. Appreciate that. Great, great. Thank you, Renee.
Thank you.
All right, Carol, you have what you need?
Yes, thank you all. Have a good weekend.
Okay, sounds good, people. I'm hanging up over here on this end. I appreciate your time today. We'll see you all in a future class.
If you like this video, don't forget to subscribe and click on the notification icon to get notified whenever we upload new content.